Peace to the tribe, peace to the collective. Back with another video. Today we'll be discussing the full moon in Scorpio. Main reason for me doing this video is to alert you guys of my Substack. The first link in the description will be, it says full moon article. Click that link, become a free subscriber to the White Rabbit blog, or become a paid subscriber for the White Rabbit blog. I got a lot of new writings that I'm going to be uploading this week, strictly to the paid subscribers of the White Rabbit Substack. I appreciate everyone's support, and please, at the very least, become a free subscriber, because reading is fundamental. And if it wasn't for reading and taking notes, my black ass would not be here. So I can only tell y'all things that have actually worked for me, and that is what I'm offering. So with that being said, click that first link that says full moon article, read the article, become a subscriber to my Substack, free or paid, it don't matter. Support your boy the same way I support y'all with this spiritual development conversation. My name is Kyrie Anthony, better known as the Hood Mystic. And what I'm about to say is not braggadocious. It's just a fact. I put a lot of effort into spiritual development and helping people. And I've helped hundreds, if not thousands of people. And so if you want to be included, all you have to do is look within yourself, recognize your soul, and everything else takes care of itself. I'm not only a client of that statement, I am the president, also known as the Hood Mystic. Thank y'all for joining me. Hey man, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I've cracked the code. And what am I talking about? I ain't talking about that. I ain't talking about that either. Good, what you talking about? I'm talking about this. Okay, y'all? Your boy has cracked the code of life. Now, y'all know I represent that White Rabbit gang, right? WhiteRabbitPsych.com. That's my website, right? And I rep psilocybin. But when I tell y'all, I figure something out, man, your boy is like on cloud 9, living euphoric. I'm healing my trauma, I'm healing my wounds, because more than the psilocybin family, I'm incorporating natural herbs, high potent herbs in combination with the psilocybin. So now, where I used to just microdose off of raw psilocybin, that's like going into a $2 hooker, you know what I'm saying, with no condom on. You got to put the herbs with it, right? And I'm telling you, I take Euphoria before I work out. I take 2 testosterone pills, 2 Euphoria, 2 maca roots. What else I take? 2 pussy poppers, take 1 stammet stack. And when I tell you the energy that I have, the weight that I've been losing, like, do y'all see me? I know I look good as fuck right now. I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm not gonna lie to you. When I'm out and about, I smell good. I look good, because I'm doing the inner work, family. And I got the links in the description. You can, you know what I'm saying? Listen, I had a hard time struggling with dust, family. I had a hard time struggling with dust and having, as much as I would dust myself off, I would just accumulate more dust. And I didn't realize that you got to get the dust out of your heart. And, I'm very fortunate. I'm very grateful. When it comes to going to sleep, I'm taking 2 Cloud 9 capsules. You should probably only take 1, but you know how I am. If you smoke 1 blunt, I'm gonna smoke 2 blunts. If you take 1 shot, I'm going to take 2 shots. It's like a grandiose thinking. Don't do as I say, not as I do, right? Take 1 cloud 9, the deepest, most luxurious sleep you ever had. Now, I'm only telling y'all what the fuck I'm doing. I'm telling y'all how I'm feeling, how I'm operating, what's working for me on an internal level. Most people not going to tell you because most people are struggling internally. I bet you struggling internally too. Maybe the out is looking good. Maybe you got a good job. Maybe you got a nice car. But I know the internal can be so fucked up. Because the synapses that's in your brain, them motherfuckers is broken. You underdig me? That's why you gotta tap into the stem and stack. And trust me, do your research. When you go to whiterabbitpsych.com and you join the email list, read the ingredients. We got psilocybin, lion's mane mushroom, and niacin. You can buy all 3 of those things at your local health food store. So if you don't want to buy, if you don't want to support, if you don't want to get your shit together in reference to me helping you get your shit together, do your research. Can we get some book emojis in the chat? Because fuck whiterabbitpsych.com. Fuck you supporting the site, supporting the channel. Fuck all of that. At the end of the day, do your research on psilocybin, lion's mane, and niacin. Heal those synapses in your brain, right? Money ain't gonna help you, my guy. Pussy ain't gonna help you, my guy. But what is gonna help you is you start working with that lion's mane mushroom. Man, it has worked wonders in my personal life. I done been through some shit in this past couple of months. And you know what? The thing about me is that I have a clear mind. I take care of business. I do not panic. And I do not fucking give up. And trust me, it's times when I'm going through intense stress of having 4 children, running multiple businesses. Okay, this is no cap in my rap. Writing books. I got multiple hoes that I gotta, keep happy. That was a joke. Kind of a joke. But with that being said, it is the psilocybin that's helping me function in this world, making me feel good about being Kyrie in the space of the way that I'm talking to y'all right now, the way that I feel. If y'all niggas be like, you know what, Hood? You know what, Kyrie? Fuck you, nigga. I can't stand you. It was a point in time, if you would have told me that, I would have internalized that. Now, I really feel this, and I might be fucking bugging. I really feel like I'm the shit, okay? And so, because I feel that way, if you say I'm not the shit, it's not going to affect me not one bit. So, if you want to know what helped me get to this level, the answer is right there. Cloud 9, Euphoria, Stem and Stack. Read the ingredients. Get the ingredients of your own. You don't feel like getting the ingredients. You just want it capsulized for you and sent to your front door. Visit whiterabbitpsych.com. You order today, we'll have that out to you by tomorrow, okay? UPS is open on Sundays, all right? So don't worry about it. We got you. And we also want to say thank you for everybody that have supported us. When I say we, I'm referencing my lovely wife who's in the chat, moderating the chat. We want to say thank you for supporting our business, for supporting ColumbianExchange.com. Like I said, I'm a Jamaican when it comes to this shit, man. I got 10 jobs, man. Sooner or later, they going to be like, you got 10 kids, man. Like, why you work so hard, Hood? I got a lot of mouths to feed. So with that being said, I just really want to thank y'all for supporting me, for, buying your herbs, getting your sage sticks, your books, things of that nature, your t-shirts, your oils, your steams. Because without y'all supporting yourself through supporting Columbian Exchange, Once again, me and my wife would not be here having these conversations. So it's like something that I'm really truly grateful for in my heart for y'all supporting those who have supported in the past, those who are supporting right now, and those who are going to support way down in the future. I really appreciate your ass, and I really do love you, because it's a lot of struggle businesses on in the chat. I mean, not in the chat. Good lord, It's a lot of struggle businesses on the internet. Okay, so I'm fresh off a workout, and I'm feeling good. And today I just want to talk and have some observations and illuminations in reference to a full moon in Sidereal Scorpio. So I want to slight explain this picture right here that is in front of you. All right. So it's supposed to represent the rising of Atlantis from a deep sea. Okay? And that could be very abstract for people, but let's be clear in 2023. Let's Sorry about that. So, in reference to Atlantis rising up out of the surface in the deep emotional truths, this is what we're dealing with. And I want to be clear with y'all, because niggas will be like, man, I don't understand, hood. I don't know what the fuck you talking about, and things of that nature. Like, that's what people would say. But that's also like, you just keep doing the same old shit, and you're only doing the things that you comfortable with. So when we talk about a full moon in Scorpio, I just want to first off say, fuck your routine. Fuck the same shit that you been doing, the same shit you been thinking, the same shit you been feeling. So, with that being said, the full moon in Scorpio is like, challenge your ideas, challenge your dispositions. Understand that you're a spiritual being having a human experience. So, there's more to you than you can consciously fathom. So, I really can't stand when motherfuckers say, I ain't shit. I ain't never gonna be shit. My mama wasn't shit. My daddy wasn't shit. My whole lineage wasn't shit. So it's just over with. And it's like, if you really truly think like that, then you gonna create that reality for yourself. Cause that's the world that we live in 2023. Stop waiting for a motherfucker to save you in your damsel in distress energy, especially if you a man. It's two things when you a man. It's a man who ain't got shit, and it's a man who got shit. The man who got shit found it within himself to be that man who is getting shit. So you might point the fingers, you might blame and think something is wrong with you, in the sense that you do not go within yourself enough. You don't meditate enough. You don't separate yourself enough. You don't travel the road less traveled enough. You are in your fear bag, your anxiety bag. You trying to keep up with the Joneses bag. And now you're dealing with a full moon in Scorpio, and it's like, oh shit. You would be kind of lost if you don't follow your soul in 2023. But let's get into more conversations, observations, and illuminations in reference to a full moon in Scorpio. So, why am I saying full moon in Scorpio? And the rest of the niggas is saying full moon in Sagittarius. Hood, why you gotta be different? The hell is going on with my there we go. Because when I type in June 4th, 2023, and I go to my Star Walk app, an app that we all can buy, nothing that I made up, nothing that I created as Hood Mystic the Astrologer. No. I went to Star Walk app. You can go to the livesky.org, whatever astronomical observation site, because we having observations and illuminations. So this screen that I'm showing y'all is the coldest astrology shit in your life. If you can understand what you are looking at, you will be more in tune than any person. Because this is an observable fact. When people say a full moon in Sagittarius, we are now in the realm of Cap, where because you can't really observe that nowhere in the skies. So if you live on 1990 Sycamore Street and I'm trying to deliver you a package, but on the address is 2100 Sycamore Street, then it's going to be a hard time for you to get your package, even though the package is on your street. In reference to an address to get your mail delivered every single day, it's got to be a level of preciseness, observational illumination of this is my precise address to get your mail delivered every day. So why, when it comes to astrology, we can be so abstract and say whatever we want to say? Once again, I do not make the rules, people. I follow the rules. And so when you have a full moon conjunct the fucking Milky Way in the energy of Scorpio, that is a real powerful observation. Because we've been in this for a while and we understand that Scorpio deals with Yesod, our spiritual foundation, and our sexual organs. And we also know that the Milky Way deals with the conglomeration of all things celestial in reference to our solar system. So the Milky Way is the portal to the rest of the universe. So when we add all of this hot shit up, we are dealing with a level of magnetism and a level of wealth if we are able to get off our fucking routines. Because our routines obviously have not created the wealth that we were seeking, the relationships that we were seeking. So we have our ego, which is our mind, and then we have our Yesod, our foundation, which is our sexual organs. Now that is another mind. So when you're having sex, you're not really talking about the birds and the bees, the ups and the downs, the lefts and the rights. You're more engaged in that sexual situation. Then if you start to think like, how did I meet this person? Why is this person giving me head like this? Why is this person licking on my gooch this way? Why is this person tossing my salad? If you don't really understand those questions and answers, then you're probably utilizing your sexual organs for pleasure. Now, we got to be clear about this. Got to be so clear about this. Having sex with our sexual organs outside of understanding the full function of Scorpio, sex, Yesod, is like building a house and you got all of the tools, all of the supplies, all of the wood, but you didn't get proper instruction. Most of us did not get proper instruction. Some of us did. But for the majority, we're trying to build houses, trying to build relationships with the tools that so you can look at another person having a relationship and it's perfect. It's a man and it's a woman. You with your girl, she's a woman, you're a man. You're like, shit, I figured it out. We're going to be moving on up like the Jeffersons. But then shit just starts to happen. And trust me, if you don't have a psychological basis, then 10 times out of 10, you are in an abusive, toxic relationship and you are being challenged, you are being threatened, you are being suppressed because you are trying to build a house, a successful house, but you have no tutelage, no instruction, no mediation. So if your husband says something and you don't agree with it, you let him know you don't agree with it, and then that's just the end all be all. To whereas mediation says, well, my husband says this and I say this, what do you think? And then the non-biased mediator says, well, actually, you have a point and she has a point. The solution is to incorporate your idea with his idea so it can be completely fleshed out. But when two adults have no instruction, no mediation, no guidance, nobody that says you put your 2x4 with your 4x4, you hammer in the nails and make sure it's balanced, because if it ain't balanced, and then we build our houses, we get into our relationships and they suck ass. They suck ass. Toxic, abusive. Nobody's happy. So we end that relationship and we go to another supply store. The only difference is with each house you try to build, you have less and less tools, less and less supplies, and less instruction. So until we're able to be in relationships outside of our sexual organ, utilizing it for pleasure, we've never been in a relationship as a generation, as a society. Some people know exactly what I'm saying, and they're having a happy, healthy, successful relationship. And I am not talking to you niggas. I'm talking to the majority of people who say, if his dick is big enough, if he got enough money, if he look attractive enough, I'ma roll with it. And if it don't work out, I know that niggas is always checking for me, especially if I throw on these leggings. I'ma just hop into another relationship. So when we utilize our Yesod, our spiritual foundation, our Scorpio, our sexual organs for pleasure, we are attempting to build homes. You can't build a home without a foundation. Can we get a home emoji in the chat if that's a true statement? Name me a home that does not have a foundation. But if homes need a foundation, can we put some homes in the chat? Now, if your home needs a foundation, your relationship needs a foundation. And what Spirit has beat me over the head with for these past 2 weeks, if you've been on my Instagram, you know what type of time I'm on. If you do not love God, if God is not your foundation for your relationship, meaning that your wife loves to serve God, right? She loves to be obedient and receptive to God's wisdom, his word, then your relationship is ass. Peach emoji. If your husband does not love to be receiving God's wisdom, tutelage, and guidance, then your relationship is ass. Peach emoji. So when you in the diaspora of internet, boy, girl, red, blue, up, down, pink, white, what men need to do, what women need to do, none of these people is saying, well, our problem is, as a collective, our spiritual foundation is not there. And we try to build these homes, we try to build these relationships, and boy, oh boy, they're nothing but ass. And I guarantee you, if you got a healthy and happy relationship and spirit is not your foundation, please, you would have $1 billion seminar. You would figure out the secret of life. Because this week, these past 2 weeks, I've thought my foundation was something and realized that I've understood what it was to create a relationship. And I didn't understand what it took to sustain a relationship, to maintain a relationship. And what Spirit has shown me, the same thing that it took for you to find your wife is the same thing, Kyrie, is going to take for you to maintain and sustain your relationship with your wife and any other person you come in contact with. Because I was bothered by what these hoes was doing. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I'm going to be 100%. These hoes had my mind fucked up. And the only solution for Kyrie, Hassan, Anthony was to love God. And that's the message that I'm sharing with y'all today. Because until you're able to do that, because I know it's a lot of shit you trying to do. And I'm going to tell you, if it's not rooted in God and spiritual development, don't be confused. When I say God, I'm just trying to cut through the bullshit with you niggas. Y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm not talking about going to church. I'm not talking about praising Jesus, giving 10% of your tithes. I'm talking about recognizing that you are a spiritual being having a human experience, and your spiritual beingness is God. It is the innermost. And if that isn't the priority of your life, then you pulling for straws. Spiritual being having a human experience in your bookstores now, Amazon, Columbian Exchange, things of that nature. Yeah. This book is about you. Shameless plug. So, damn, my little TED talk is over. Let's get into the get-intos. So, what am I talking about now? Bring it up. Let me bring it up. So, I'm going to do some basic astrology, basic understanding of astrology. Y'all might look at this and be like, what the fuck am I looking at, hood? And I would say the same thing. It's some basic fundamental rules, oppositions, thick red line. Full moon, sun and moon is an opposition, thick red line. Short blue line, trine. Long blue line, sextile. Short red line, square, okay? However, we're not here to talk about that or this. We're here to talk about the full moon. So if you want to get into the astrology of your birth chart, just open up your shit. Put in your birth date. Now you're going to slide to the left, slide to the right, and look where it says planet positions. Planet positions. And we just going to do basic understanding. Sun, moon, right? And then it's some numbers next to the sun and moon. That's where you get into understanding. If you're just looking at this chart, there is no understanding in this chart. So when astrologers sit and talk to you about what they're seeing on the chart, no. Okay? No. Okay? So what we do is We look at the number, then we look at the Sabian symbol. Once again, this is why I had hold up. This is why in the full moon in Scorpio picture, get it all together, represents Atlantis rising out the depths of the ocean. Now, that sentence allows for you to expand your thoughts. What does that mean? As opposed to not knowing nothing and having no research basis to begin to expand and understand each number has a symbol attached to it. And if you don't know, now you know, that's astrology. Understanding codes and keys and symbols. So if we have a full moon at 19 degrees on each side, we just simply look at those Sabian symbols. And as we explore these Sabian symbols, you can do this on your own, right? You have your own understanding. That's the power and beauty of symbols. We can interpret them in our own, and the reality of how you interpret a symbol is completely is right. You cannot interpret a symbol wrong. So, Taurus being at 19 degrees represents a new continent rising out of the ocean. The surge of new potentiality after the crisis. So, when I was experiencing what I was experiencing over these past couple of months, when I realized why I was experiencing it, it didn't hurt as much. Because the reason why you experience negative things is because God is not your spiritual foundation. It is the ego, it is your finances, it is your reputation, it is what the girl is saying to you, is, if the boy like you, all of these superficial existential things. And this is your idol, this is your God. And in reference to the wig falling off with the pastor woman, in reference to Jackie O transitioning on the operation table, these are clear idols that Black women need to release. Don't nobody care about your hair. Don't nobody care about your body. It don't need to be perfect. It does not need to be perfect. You should not be dying to have a perfect body. And the reality is that people are suffering for an aesthetic. And the reality, y'all might agree or not agree, but God does not like that. And hopefully this changes the minds of women who thought, oh, I'm about to get me a mommy makeover. As if that is going to absolve whatever internal conflicts you are experiencing. Because if you thinking a mommy makeover is going to help you, but God not being your spiritual foundation is just kind of just going to be some wayward shit. Yes, God is my spiritual foundation, but I need a wig and I need a mommy makeover. That logic is not logicking for me. I need plastic surgery. I need to have a specific aesthetic, but God is my spiritual foundation, and I'm obeying and I'm listening and I'm accepting challenges. I'm overcoming challenges, because challenges are what make me strong, spiritually strong, emotionally strong, mentally strong. What has happened is that since we do not have a spiritual foundation, most people are in the realms of fantasy. And this fantasy has created crisis. At least it has for me, right? Y'all could be living in a perfect life. One's in the chat if you've experienced some form of a crisis over the past 2 weeks. One's in the chat if you've experienced some form of crisis in the past 2 weeks. Not 2 weeks, I'm sorry, 2 months since eclipse season. Because I could just be talking about my damn self. And that ain't I don't like just talking about myself. Since eclipse season, 2 months, starting in March, end of February, till now, have you experienced some form of a crisis? One's in the chat. 2, if everything been perfect. Because if it has, yo ass better email me and tell me your goddamn secret. Because here I am thinking that, God has got to be my spiritual foundation. But if that ain't it, let a nigga know. I'm not trying to say this to be right. I'm trying to say this to help niggas. So if it's something else beyond, having a strong spiritual foundation, then hit me up in the Gmail email. It could be anything, If twerking on a handstand is what's making your life perfect, then you need to start doing twerking on handstand lessons. If male stripper pose is giving you motherfucking perfect aesthetics in life, then you need to start doing the male stripper pole classes. All right. So maybe y'all just been living perfect existences and y'all have the secret and I'm just on the outside looking in. Email me. All right. So let's get into more of this Taurus energy. The symbol need hardly be commented upon. When the mind has been emptied, light has been called upon to purify the consciousness freed from its attachments and contaminations. A new release of life can emerge out of the infinite ocean of potentiality and I can't read that, space. But what will it be used for? So I started off this conversation with not having routines, not trying to do the same old shit, and how spirit can kind of move you and groove you outside of your routines. And the reason why is so the potentiality of source can rise out of you. Because the reality of source not rising out of you is just more of kind of just going along with the flow. And then when you experience crises, you one, don't know why you've experienced crises, and you do not have a solution. And me, I'm a talker. I'm a person that have been like talking a whole lot in my life, y'all. I've been talking a whole lot. And in my talking, I thought people could hear me. I thought people could understand me. But then in the reality, doing multiple things at once. But in the reality of that, spirit said, all that talking you doing, nigga, ain't hitting on shit. Until you make me your foundation, until you start to love me, motherfuckers is going to ignore you in your own home, in your own friend group, in your own family, and the people that you trying to help is going to ignore you. Because it ain't about the eloquence. It's not about the rhetoric. It's about your spirit. It's about your purity. It's about your truth. And only God can give you that. Only instruction. See, nobody can walk into anything worthwhile and naturally be good at it. We all need instruction, tutelage, and guidance. Because without it, you would be out here looking dumb. And sometimes our egos are in control. So why do we look dumb when our egos is in control? Because we understand the horse and the carriage. The ego is the carriage. The soul is the horse. When the ego is in control, the ego has to pull the horses. So eventually, the ego gets drained. The ego gets exhausted. The ego tries everything and nothing works. So now, what do? You keep trying to pull the fucking horses, or do you let the horses lead you and guide you? Well, and we're going to be clear, so clear today. Hopefully you taking notes. How do you let the horses guide you? By relaxing your ego through meditation, allowing your parasympathetic system to take over. This is meditation and relaxation. You got a busy day. You got 10 kids. You got 4 businesses. You got baby mamas. But your ass got to go to sleep. So before you go to sleep, 10 minutes, I'm saying this to the person that's quote unquote so busy. But if you go to sleep, make sure you rest and meditate before you take your ass to sleep. Because if you don't, you're going to sleep with worry, anxiety, and the ego is trying to pull the horses. You're trying to figure it out. And the reality is that your soul already know where it's going. You have DNA. You have ancestors. You have guides. You have entities. You have local spirit. Local, not loco. Local spirits wherever you at. You can be in Manhattan. You can be in Georgia. You can be in Detroit. You can be in Ohio. It's energies and deities that you can begin to work with and tap into. Now, wherever you at, it's energies that's willing to really fuck with you. Now, the only thing that's going to hold you back and stop this process is, same old shit that you've been doing. And thinking that the same old shit that you've been doing is high priority. And unless the same old shit that you've been doing have been founded in spirituality and founded in the truth and purity of your soul, is leading you down the wrong direction. And this is why you're exhausted. Because this is a 4th stage and it is a suggestion on how to approach whatever new phase of life has not only hoped for, but actually confirmed, this technique is to simply allow the infinite potential to operate in unconscious spontaneity. So the crisis is happening because you are in control. You are making all of decisions. And until you get into this space and understanding that your soul and God is in control, it's going to be a rough ride. It's going to be an exhausting ride. It's going to be a tiring ride. So let's also deal with the other side of the coin, Scorpio. So Scorpio 19 symbol is a parrot that repeats the conversation he heard, the conversation he has overheard. Keynote: the capacity to transmit transcendental knowledge. To the individual who lives in a state of ardent, sustained faith, it may become possible to become a channel for the transmission of knowledge or wisdom that transcends his normal mental understanding. Once again, the ego is the brain, is the carriage. We're talking about the upper thought, conscious ego. Now we have a deeper sense of intelligence that us in the West, we do not get access to because we are sexualized. We've been growing up listening to Luke, Little Kim, Foxy Brown. Give me some other sexual graphic artists out there. Nicki Minaj. There's some dudes, every rapper is sexual in nature. 3-6 Mafia, Slob on my knob. When we were younger, we would hear these songs and we'd be like, oh my God, you hear him just say pussy? You hear him just say that? That's wow, that's crazy. Now, in 2023, a viral song, it's not one of my favorite songs. It's just what it's one of those songs that I'm just like, what in the entire fuck? It's a song by Sukiyana talking about eating ass. And I mean, whatever you do in your bedroom is your business, and I'm cool with that. But damn, we came a long way from come on and go with me. Come on over to my place. To I'm eating niggas' ass. I'm eating niggas' ass. Like, what in the entire fuck? Right? So our ability to have a spiritual foundation is eviscerated. Because you love your woman right now. You love her right now. But at the same time, she thinking, I wish he had just a little bit more dick. Like just a smidgen more dick. Like if he had a little bit more dick, I would be satisfied in this union. She not going to tell you that, but Kyrie is going to tell you that. Kyrie is going to be the one to let you know that there is no spiritual foundation in your relationship. Is can you make her come or not? And if you cannot make her come, if you're not fucking her right in 2023, she don't even. And you might be thinking like, why is you this egotistical and arrogant and so cold? Because when she go home, she got some toys and some motherfucking lube and some motherfucking porno playlists. She done bought a subscription to Pornhub. She got gold access. She seeing porns that the regular public can't see. She got her whole setup. She do not need you. And then when you get on top of her, going up and down, you don't got the suction circle cup like the rose and the pulsating penis, nigga. You is not about to be doing nothing. And this is like, it's sex parties that be happening that chicks be going to. My mama's generation went to fucking sex parties. So this ain't nothing new. This is old timey shit. To whereas if God is not your spiritual foundation in your relationship and you think you about to fuck her into loving you, you better get that shit up out of your head right now. It's a point like you gotta really get to a point where you like, damn, I can't satisfy her, right? You gotta, as a man, you gotta really face that shit and chew on that shit. You gotta hold on to that shit, cause that's the only shit that's gonna bring God into your life. Cause her moaning and saying, "Oh, daddy, I love it so much," is got your ego thinking that you doing something, thinking that that's your bae for life. She was calling me daddy, shaking and squirting and coming all on that. She was thinking about somebody else the whole time she was fucking you. She was thinking about the porno that she watched. You ever seen how your girl give you head and she start twerking her booty? She be like, damn, I wish I had another dick. It'd be cool if his homeboy in the other room just came back here, I'm just, I'm tooting it in the air. I mean, I won't say nothing if they don't say nothing type shit. It'd be real cool if your homeboy came. What'd you just say? Nothing. I was just saying it'd be real cool if Netflix had different shows on it. I don't know what I was thinking about. Jermaine, he in the front room. You think he sleep? Why you keep asking about Jermaine? I don't know. I'm just saying, like, y'all see the porno movies. So all I'm saying is the way that the world's set up, it ain't no sexual pleasure, and it's been exacerbated. It's been stretched the fuck out to whereas that is no longer an option. That's no longer going to save you. and bring you into anything besides more confusion. Now your girl gotta lie to you every time y'all having sex. That's creating more karma in the fucking relationship. I'm gonna tell you one thing I'm gonna tell y'all this one time and one time only. When y'all start to love God as men and stop trying to please these women sexually, you will figure out some real shit real fast if this woman is really for you or not. Cause she lying to you, making you think that you knocking that shit out the box. And you not. But you know you not, cause the way she treating you. She giving you her ass to kiss, ain't she? But why is she giving you how she go from calling you daddy, oh my God, daddy, it's all yours, daddy, to nigga, fuck you. How do y'all go from that to that quick? And what you do notice, the better the sex, the more crazier she about to act after the sex. Old man looked at me one day, he's like, bro, you gotta stop fucking that girl like that, cause we damn at the hotel, she goddamn busting out cars, flattening tires, fighting, going crazy. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? What's going on? Old man walk right past me, look me in the eye, say, man, you can't just be fucking every girl like that. I'm like, I thought I was supposed to know her. Sometimes you gotta just give her half of it. If you want a happy and healthy relationship, just give her half of it. Just give her a little bit of it. Because if you give it all of it, she gonna go crazy. And you ain't gonna know what to do. One time and one time only. You're never gonna hear me say nothing like that ever again. So, continue to read. Because y'all thought y'all was knocking that pussy out the box, didn't y'all? Oh my God, daddy, I'm coming. Oh, I got me one. She really liked this shit. She going home straight to them goddamn toys. Like, man, I couldn't wait to get home to your ass. Bzzz. Sound like a goddamn barber shop in that bedroom. Girl, what you do? You be cutting your hair every night? Let me get some barber emojis if your bedroom sound like goddamn who next? Man, I got like 2 or 3 heads, man. Got about 2 or 3 heads left, man. You next, though. At this 4th stage of the 5-fold sequence of symbols, we are given a hint as to man's capacity to attune himself to sources of higher wisdom, if he can sufficiently be attentive and careful in channeling a higher voice. Once again, our routines, the shit that we used to, the shit that we comfortable, is doing 2 things. It's creating crisis in our lives, and it's blocking out our ability to hear our spiritual self, the ability to hear the God within ourselves. It is a lack of a spiritual foundation. To stress here the negative element of automatism and unintelligent repetition. So this is always, and for real, I'm gonna be honest and transparent. It's like, for me, smoking weed felt stupid. Eating, like me and my wife, we ate at a restaurant. That felt dumb. Now, it's like for a week, I just been raw vegan. Might smoke, I don't even smoke a blunt. I'll hit the blunt a couple of times, like type shit. I'm not, like, I'm just, like, I don't even care about shit. And it's like, damn. Whole time I struggled with this, and I'm being transparent, honest, I struggled with this. But then I started to love God, and God started to remove the craving from my heart. God just said, oh, I struggled for years. God and instantly said, oh, I can get rid of that shit easy for you. I'm like, damn, what I'm going to eat? Now I'm getting the vegetables, cutting up the vegetables, making me a little wrap. That shit is the best food ever. Like I'm telling you, get you some fresh veggies, all of the veggies that you like, you know what I'm saying? Some hummus, nigga, some hummus, some pico de gallo, throw you a little feta. If you nasty, if you a little, wrap that shit up, eat that shit. It's cold. You know what I'm saying? I'm struggling with losing weight, working out, but gaining weight. That's the weirdest shit in the world, right? You working out hour and a half, sweating, not really eating. You keep gaining weight. But the food that you eating is not going with your energy. So if you eat a little bit, that shit expanding in your belly. So I'm like, damn. Now I'm eating at a rate and eating a type of food that it tastes good. It's cheap. I ain't spent money on weed. I ain't spent money on food. Like, it's like God is working in my life. So I don't know what to tell y'all niggas besides what I just fucking told y'all. And if you struggling with something and everything you doing is not working, you're going to have to try and allow God to be your spiritual foundation. And a simple way that helps me, how do I allow God to be my spiritual foundation? I simply love. I just love God. And when I love God is when somebody pissing me off, when somebody is triggering me. It's my reminder that, okay, this person not loving God, let me go back into, and right then and there is the solutions. So my patterns, my habits, my routines did not give me solutions. I'm stressed out. Let me roll this blunt and let me smoke it. Was not giving me the solutions that I needed. But when God was my spiritual foundation, it, one, removed the craving, and two, it allowed me to see what I needed to do and how I needed to move and operate. So, just trying to explain some shit to y'all. The intelligent repetition is to use only one's intellect. So, if you got a carriage that can pull some horses, congratulations, right? What does that look like? I'm a single mom taking care of my kids by myself, or I'm in a relationship and I'm doing the most in my relationship, and my partner is giving him or giving her his ass to kiss, right? And I'm in a toxic, unhealthy relationship. This is because you are letting your ego and your intellect make all of your decisions for you. You have not allowed God to be your spiritual foundation. Full moon and Scorpio, because we have the moon, which is water. We have Scorpio, which is water. We have Scorpio, which is the sexual organs, which is Yesod. Yesod is the spiritual foundation. And our spiritual foundation is nowhere, it's not in our mouth, it's not in our mind, it is in our sexual organs. Period. And when you are single, when you do not have relationship skills, when you don't know how to communicate effectively, and you might be in a sexual trauma fantasy bond, ain't no saving you. All birds in symbolism suggest spiritual faculties or forces. What is evoked is the possibility of learning from higher intelligence or channelship. So once again, learning how to just simply get out of the regular mundane forms of just everyday thinking will allow you to channel. Like I said earlier, I can't stress this enough either. Local spirits. So what do I mean by local spirits? Who is somebody famous in your town that died? Well, they didn't actually die. They probably still a spirit. They probably still have particular type energy. Like, give you an example, because I'm like, when I'm trying to give y'all niggas examples or abstract, it's like, I don't get it, hood. Well, when we first moved to Detroit, the first spirit that introduced itself to us was the spirit of John Dodge. So many different types of synchronicities. I'm not about to get into that, but now I'm always pulling up to his grave site, giving offerings. That's my man. That's my homie. That's my nigga. I'm locked in. John Dodge, the creator of the Dodge Motor Car Company. Now that's just one spirit, and that's just the Detroit spirit. Now, where do you live? Who created something? Who invented something? It's localized spirits that can really help you. Now, once again, you got to get off your routine. You got to get off your regular plans and schedules. Start opening your mind. Audrey Hepburn, what you want to do? Sammy Davis Jr.? Like, just start naming people and start working with them. Start channeling. Who is you really interested in? Who do you vibrate? Who do you resonate with? Work with them. Listen to them. Listen to old interviews. Tina Turner. Like, damn, they just said that I just died, but I've been dead. I ain't gonna get into that. Not gonna get into that. So, how do we do this? How do we formulate tarot cards for full moons? Well, each full moon falls into a particular decan, and this particular decan is the second decan of Scorpio. The card of that decan is my favorite decan of all times, the Six of Cups. So I ain't want to get that to y'all yet. I'm gonna get that to y'all next. This card is known as pleasure. I did you wrong. I made you mad. I did you not. Come take me back. I did you wrong. Pleasure P. Right? Let me get in. Let me see. So, and this falls into the energy of your side, the energy of sex, the energy of pleasure. And so everybody's sex is amazing, right? Everybody's sex is top tier. So when we talk about pleasure and you think straight into sex, it's two things. One, your sex ain't that good. Two, it's not that important. So if you think that sex equates to pleasure and you're like talking shit to your husband, like you not fucking me good enough and you not making me come, and you just a lazy lover. Any woman who says that a man don't satisfy them in bed don't probably satisfy the man in bed. And that's just how it goes, right? Because if I'm gonna tell y'all about sex, this is a secret about sex. It don't matter if you getting pleasured or not. Sex is about two people giving each other pleasure. It's not about you receiving pleasure. So if you're not out here tossing salad, sucking toes, licking on Gucci's, giving foot jobs, hand jobs, goddamn stripper pole action, you a lazy lover, laying down on the bed with your legs spread, talking about please me, please me, please me, please me. You need to take your ass to church. That's what you need to do. You need to you need to have a real close covenant with Jesus Christ. Cause ain't nobody put on this world to please you. The point of sex is for you to please that man. Please that, like y'all supposed to be going hard at pleasing each other. That's what sex is about. So if you the type of person to say, oh, he just don't satisfy me, you are a lazy lover. I was about to call you a piece of shit, but I ain't going to do that because it's true that you're a piece of shit, but I'm just not going to be the one to call you that. I'm going to just put it out there. But as we should see by now, the Six of Cups implies pleasure on a deeply spiritual and emotional level or way. So it's not sexual. It is spiritual. A pleasure that is healing. revitalizing, renewing, and regenerating. Only God can give you this type of pleasure, y'all. I'ma just spoil it for y'all. I'ma pull the whole cat out the bag. Yo nigga cannot pleasure you. Yo girl cannot pleasure you. And if you doing the most to please somebody, and then you mad like, damn, I can't get nothing in return. No, you can't get nothing in return. The whole system is not set up for what you think it's set up for. The reality of this whole, like, we've been fed a whole bill of goods that have expired, got spoiled, and become rotten, and is now getting you sick. We want our nigga to heal us, to revitalize us, to renew us, to regenerate us. And let me tell you something, ladies, that's God's job. We want our wife to revitalize us, to heal us, to renew us, to regenerate us. But let me tell you something, homie, that is God's job. That is your soul's job. This is why we meditate. This is why we do the work. Not to say that we doing it and we cool. No, because we want to heal, because we want to revitalize, because we want to renew, and because we want to regenerate. This is God's work. This is not your nigga's work. It's not your wife's work. So to have a spiritual foundation, it starts intrinsically, it starts internally, it starts in the spirit, in the mind. But if you're trying to gain God through your relationship, boy, oh boy, you done said shit to that man that he didn't deserve. Boy, oh boy, you done came at that woman in a way that she did not deserve. That woman don't owe you shit. That man don't owe you shit. That man want to go fucking to where he want to go and do what he want to do. But he obligated to, you know, take care of you and to support you. And that's cool. But if he is unhappy, or if you are unhappy, what spirit will show you, what life will show you, is that the more you go to your partner, the more sicker you become. What I mean sick, mentally sick, emotionally sick. When you have heart-to-heart conversations and you've real thought out and real heartfelt and compassionate of what you need your husband to do for you, what you desire your wife to do for you, and they do not do it because that was never their job. You should have been that heartfelt. You should have been that sincere. You should have been that clear with your soul. Because that was the one who was going to heal, revitalize, renew, and restore your ass. Not some nigga you met off Craigslist. This is the underlying pleasure that is the foundation of creation itself. Ecstasy that never stops, as it vibrates the waves of pleasure that builds all things, as well as the pineal gland in the brain. This vibration floods the body with the core of pleasure and excites magic abilities. So, once again, I got a question for y'all, and I need y'all help. Y'all been watching this video. Y'all been rocking with me thus far, and I appreciate y'all for the rocking wits. But what is pleasure? Is pleasure having deep, intrinsic, clear communication with each other? Two people that have a spiritual foundation, two people that love God, that love Source, two people that are followed and led by Source, or is pleasure just a rose toy? Now, I just want to see some roses in the chat. So just put some roses in the chat. It's not any particular question. I just want y'all to use y'all fucking common sense at this point. Cause it's y'all on this chat, is y'all watching this video that's going to say, you know what? Soon as this video is over, I'm going to crack open this Pornhub, open up my case and get my toy and start the jugging. Jugga, 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 jugga. Gonna give a nigga a lineup. Bzzz, bzzz. Yeah, I just want a number 2 on all sides, taper in the back. Bzzz. Man, this code is cut. Can I get your number, man? Okay, I'm gonna follow you on IG. All I'm saying is close the barbershop, open up your heart, and start the conversation with Source. Allow your soul to lead you. Stop, because the pleasure that the rose is giving you, you need the rose to feel that pleasure. You can't throw the rose away and still receive the pleasure that the rose give you. Now, the pleasure that comes from having a spiritual foundation, and I'm talking this so easily and freely, but y'all gotta just understand that I've been on this path my whole life, and the part of it is that I get off the path and I sway from the path. I do. I get concerned. I get worried. I stress, and when I'm worried and stressed, I relinquish my love for God in those instances. I do that. However, what I am saying is that I'm recognizing it, understanding it, getting back on the path, remaining on the path. Because as much as I worry, as much as I stress, that's not the solution. Now, when it comes to pleasure, pleasure is realizing that people can do what they want to do. And if they really and truly fuck with you, God will put them in your life. So when I was worried about what Shorty was doing, I was stressed out. When I stopped caring, she showed up. Okay? It's just a message. Is some of y'all right now worried about what your girl doing and what your girl not doing? Once you say, I love God, and whatever this hoe want to do, she can do, she either going to go deeper into the streets or she going to show up for you. And then when she show up for you, you need to tell her that she need to begin to love and serve and listen to her soul. Because if she depended on you for pleasure and joy, it's going to be when you giving her the backstroke, right? The problem is when you're not giving her the backstroke, she going to be depressed and acting crazy, slashing tires and busting windows. So give her the pleasure that constantly gives, which is having a spiritual foundation through austerities, through penance, through observation, through illumination. You got to be patient. You got to calm the fuck down. You got to not care so much about what's going on in the world. Okay? Period. Peace. Thank y'all. Man, if y'all been in this video so far, you like this video so far, go ahead and like it. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, share the video to your friends and family. Yeah.
This ain't something new that's just gonna come out of nowhere. No. This is something old and dirty.
So we're talking about the Jyestha Nakshatra. And the nakshatra is like the constellation for the moon. So the constellation is usually in reference to the sun. A lunar mansion is in reference to the moon. So we identify what lunar mansion the moon is in during a full moon. And that lunar mansion that we're discussing today is Jyestha. Jyestha represents the elder or something old and ancient. So this is not some old relic that you're going to dig up. This old and ancient technology is found within yourself because you are an ancient spiritual being. So the energy that or the planet that rules Jyestha is Mercury. Mercury, the planet of consciousness, the planet of truth, is that ancient technology. And usually we use our consciousness to reflect on our thoughts and emotions. In reference to everything that we've been talking about so far, we need to get into an energy of reflecting on our soul, on God, channeling that energy, because that is a technology that magnetizes, and a technology that guides and directs and just makes your decision making process be in alignment with your soul. When you are fixated on your thoughts and emotions, and then you make decisions based on these things, you develop routines, habits, addictions, perversions, afflictions. But when you reflect and meditate on your soul and make conscious decisions based upon the fact that you do not know, but you just feel it and you know deeply, you might not know consciously, but you know deeply, this is what I should do. I have been on this spiritual path for years, and there was never a time where I meditated, had a clear mind, and did the spiritual work and made bad decisions. The only time I make bad decisions when I'm reflecting on my thoughts and my emotions. And this causes me to do things that I think is going to help me, but it only causes more delusion, more confusion. So, what I'm saying is, this old energy is within you, but is not tapped into the energy of the present. It's a reason that this week is Pride Week. Another reference to Jyestha Nakshatra is Nanabozo. Nanabozo is an ancient energy that I call him the white rabbit, right? But Nanabozo is a real time energy that I've been working with since I was in Ohio. Nanabozo said, you need to move to Detroit. Then Nanabozo said, you need to come up to, Mackinac. Then he said, you need to go to this museum. I need you to buy this book so you can read stories about me, because these books that you find in this museum, you ain't going to find them on Amazon or at a bookstore. And so being in Mackinac with my family, reading about Nanabozo in a space that I didn't know, like I knew about Nanabozo before I went to Mackinac, but I didn't know that he had reign up in Mackinac. But moving to Detroit, all of these particular instances, being spiritually led and spiritually directed, everything made sense at a level where I didn't even know it was going to make sense. So Nanabozo is very special to me. And now this energy is connected to the Jyestha Nakshatra because they say a old hare or an old rabbit and a trickster rabbit and things of that nature. But we also operate under the law of syncretism, where there is only one thread of spiritual truth. And now this one thread has many different names and many different symbolisms and many different codes and many different understandings. But what I'm trying to elucidate is a clarity and understanding and streamlining all of those things. Because spiritual education and spiritual development is something that can happen for you. You just have to trust your decision making. So when you have downloads and understandings, I'm going to be able to represent and understand it because the truth is all one thing, even though it's a multitude of different ways. And let me plug up my laptop real quick and I'll be right back. Cause period. All right, we're still on Nanabozo. Nanabozo's like, okay, to help people understand this, very simply, stop giving a fuck so much. Because this world, this time, this life is not as serious as we make it out to be. Now, there are ways to which we can live a happy and healthy life, but the things that you do to have a happy and healthy life is not very serious. It's not dire or detrimental. These are actually good and fun and, great things. Like eating good food is not a bad experience. Having healthy relationships is not a bad experience. So when you have a happy and healthy life, it's a level of joy that's accompanied with it. It's a level of pleasure that's accompanied with it. And if you're not in that energy and frequency of pleasure and joy, then you give a fuck way too much, right? You give a fuck way too much. And what is your truth? Understanding your truth and standing in your truth is also not giving a fuck. There is no truth that's going to make other people happy. The basic nature of truth is it operates outside of fantasy. So if the truth is that is a window, motherfuckers can't say, well, I feel like it ain't a window. I think that it's kind of not like a window. The truth is that it's a window. So when you stand in your truth and people say, well, I don't think and I don't feel, that literally has nothing to do with you. Literally nothing. When you stand in your truth. My damn phone done died. Let me give y'all more Drake views. Give y'all some views. I'm looking good today, so shit. It's a once in a lifetime experience out here in these streets. You feel me? Your boy looking good. So I ain't looked this good since goddamn 2002, nigga. What the fuck, boy? Goddamn shrooms coming through. You feel me? With the green tea. I'm telling y'all, that green tea, it works for me. You know what I'm saying? Weight just be melting off your boy. So, one more thing about this Scorpio energy. It's tying in to Cupid. So, if you really trying to find somebody, putting your conscious mind to it, and then saying, I want a man like this, I want a girl like this, I want a person like this, peach emoji. Your dating life is ass. Your relationships is ass. When you see Scorpio in that Cupid, that's because you really truly love God. And each day you get deeper in that love. Each day is breaking down the boundaries and barriers and obstacles to you finding love in your life. Because love is for you, love is for everybody, but you have boundaries and barriers that prevent you from loving somebody today. And it's like, you like, for me, I'm the type of person that was like, I would really want love. I would really seek love and try to experience love and just crash out and strike out and never experience nothing. Now it's like I'm a damn, them goddamn lights that attract flies. That's what I feel like. I feel like a damn light that attract flies. The hoes just be like, zzz, bzz, bzz, bzz. They just come, they just be around me and shit. That's a joke. I'm just playing, just joking. Um, it don't really be like that. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to do some observations and illuminations and help whoever I can help with this video. Like the video if you like it. Share the video if you know somebody that can help. But yeah, I shared a lot, and hopefully you took notes, and hopefully you are serious about loving your soul. And if you have trouble with understanding, got a little nice healthy book for you. It's thick. You know these conscious niggas books be looking like this. Ones in the chat, conscious niggas books be like this. Be on the thin side right there, boy. Nah, this one thick though. It's thick like your baby mama, nigga. This book got ass. Peach emoji. This book got a fat ass, boy. It's thick. So, spiritual being having a human experience, ColumbianExchange.com. I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. Yeah. And yeah. See y'all on the flip side. And hopefully this video helps you. What can help you? Cloud9, Euphoria capsules, stem and stacks. Link is in the description. One more thing. If you want to read the article to this video that I just did, link is in the description as well. Thank y'all for rocking with me.